Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I was still playing with May I Scraplift You, and it is my counterfeit kit challenge. And this is the layout that I chose from Scrap Fabulous, and it was from one of her layout shares on YouTube. So I'll link the layout share and her channel down below in the description box. There'll also be a playlist for May I Scraplift You too. And I'm just showing you some of my Minty papers that I have in my counterfeit kit challenge this month. And so I'm going to use some of these up. I pulled out this green cardstock as well. And these two pictures of, well, my youngest is in one of them. My oldest was somewhere on this school trip. And this is when I was teaching at home ed, and I was teaching grade 4-5, and it was a really fun year. So I teacher job shared, so I taught with one lady. She taught the social, I taught the science for this one group, and I taught the math, and she taught the LA for the other group, because we had two groups. It was a home ed blended program, and I was a facilitator teacher in that program. And then we actually collaborated with the grade 1-2 teacher. So my youngest is in the photos because she was part of the 1-2 class, and I'm sure I have pictures of my oldest somewhere. And so this layout could be for my youngest, but it's actually going to be for me today. Just documenting some of my teaching career. And this was such a fun year. So we did nature journaling and all sorts of things. So this is our last trip that we were on, and right in those pictures the kids are nature journaling, and we brought paint and all sorts of stuff out, and we did walking trips all year and went rain or shine or snow, not blizzard and not hail, but I'm not allowed to in those kind of situations, but everything else we're pretty much allowed to. So this was our last trip of the school year, and so we're just having a blast. So this was a good year. I think my colleagues would have agreed too. So I cut this banner wrong, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just cut it the other way, and so that's fine. It is a little short than I want it now, but I'll fix that. My layout will take some side steps to what Scrap Fabulous has hers as, but that's okay. Yeah, make it your own. So I do decide to back both of my pictures in one photo block in white for this mat, mostly because I cut that banner wrong and I need to be not able to see what's in behind, so I can stretch it all the way across. So not a big deal. The white actually brightens the page up a bit too. There's lots of pastel colors on here, but it helps. And then I am going to use one of the pieces that I got from my cardstock to mat it as well, because I just wanted, something a little more grounding behind the pictures too. So the double mat really works well for that. And Scrap Fabulous has hers, I think, matted in orange if you look above, and that's fine. Her orange cardstock I'm using flowers for. She's got a plaid and I've got the gingham, and then I've got a dark green instead of blue, and then my pictures are a little bit different for sizing, mostly because I didn't need to see half of kids in pictures. So and then I'm just looking at my 6x6 paper pad to see if there's something else in here that I can use to add some more layers, because she has a few other layers there too. I'm not going to do all the same layers as she's got, because it doesn't matter. I'm going to play and do what I want to do, and it's all good. So I am going to put this one underneath, like she's got, I think it's a flower paper. And I thought this touch of green in the white is just fine. I thought about using the other side, but it was going to get lost a little bit with the flowers in behind. And then this pink wood panel, like probably a door for a barn, looks really like it's getting lost on the screen right now, but in person there is enough definition between those two different papers that it is not as similar as it may look. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want these layers to go, and so I do fiddle for this with this for a bit. Oh, words, words, words. And then I have the two pieces of this, so I can actually set it up in this photo block so that I have it where I want it. And so I want it in between that green and white paper, but underneath the cardstock. So I'm just lining that up, and so that works pretty well that way. I will cut off the edge of that in a minute, but and then this is the banner piece. Like, she's got a blue one up there. She's got another piece there too, and I don't include that one that's above her banner piece, like that little banner piece. She's got another piece there. I don't include that, but I do add some other pattern paper layers just because I can. So this barn door is going to go on this side like I had it. I'm like just figuring it out. Which way do I like this? So I am going to gut this a little bit. Did I need to? Probably not. But I like this paper so much. And I had a really hard time using some of it because I just wanted to keep the paper. So, which is fine. I am gonna get the floral that's there still in that 11, I think it's 11.5 inches square. I am gonna get the inside where the wood grain's going to sit, and so that's what I'm gonna do now, because that is too pretty to be like, no, I'm not gonna use it. And so I do need about 2.5 inches in, so that's what I'm doing. Then I'm going to double check, because if I cut this wrong, I'm going to cry. Probably not cry, but maybe swear a little. It's a good thing sometimes that I don't do this live, other than you don't want to watch me for an hour to do this, because this literally took me an hour today, and there's no rhyme or reason other than just me playing around. And so I would have to like plan out everything, and then you just watch me put it together, and this is easier. In my opinion, it's easier. I am totally jealous of the ladies who can start their camera up and talk through their layout and do all the things at the same time and just like chat, and yeah, I can't do that. I can't work like with my creativity and actually talk through the process. I have tried, because I was like, if I could do that, it would mean less editing, but it is not. So that got the other corner piece of that green and white that I put underneath. I thought about extending that banner just a little bit, and I went, nope, didn't like that. So now I've got my layers on, and I'm going to start to embellish. So this one says, my garden feeds my soul, and I'm going to steal the feeds my soul, because teaching definitely feeds my soul, especially science. And this was one of the things that I really enjoyed about teaching smaller peoples, was that we got to do fun things like art journaling. It's not really something that you can get many grade 9s to do. So, and it doesn't really fit into our curriculum like it fits into the grade 4-5 curriculum. So not gonna happen with my bigger people. I like teaching the bigger people a little more most of the time, but yeah, this was a great year though. So I had a really small class, and yeah, I taught half-time and then homeschooled the other half time, and it was a lot of fun. I am gonna cut this one out of the chippies from, these are minty ones. This one I'm not going to use. I'm also going to break it, even though I'm trying to cut it out really nice. These are the bane of my existence. They're beautiful, but man, do they not come out very easily. So I'm like, I just cut you. You should come out. But so I'm gonna look at it that way. I'm like, maybe. There was flowers and stuff around, but they're literally painting trees in there. Well, most of them are painting trees. Some of them painted other nature stuff. They could paint whatever they wanted. But most of them are painting trees, and you can see some of their stuff there. And I was like, yep, nope, not gonna work. And then I was looking at that making magic, but I decided no. And then I found these Allie Edwards ones, and I think this was from her design kit for her monthly words that she sent out. And I believe this was designed. That one is Embrace the Journey, because it was definitely a journey for what we were doing with this. And then Created to Create. And then I'm going to go find my glue, because it fell over. So I do put that out, because I had to get up and move around and grab it. So yeah, I would disappear so many times if I did live voiceover or lives. I would just be gone, because I'd have to go get my glue, and I would need white cardstock and so gluing that broken piece on, I don't get it perfect, but unless you like really look at it, nobody's gonna tell. I'm gonna pull out Intentionally Cultivating and Collaborate, and I'm gonna pull out Fresh and Organic, just because a lot of the planning that we did with this was quite fresh for thinking and working together, and was a lot of fun. And there was an organic, like not food organic, but an organic way that it came together. It was amazing. So I do try to do my journaling this way. I hate it. I'm going to go to the printer and print it. And I thought about it being in strips, but I had a lot to say. So you'll see that in the close-ups. I am going to put some enamel dots on it. I will read you my journaling right now as I put enamel dots on. We'll find them first. So I said, this was a great year for teaching at home ed. Christine, Chelsea, and I worked together to give an integrated program with her grade 1-2s and Chelsea and my 4-5s. We did nature studies, info walks, investigations, art journals, and had a great deal of fun all year in all kinds of weather taking the kids out. And then I put a little bit more journaling, so that one went on the banner piece, and then there's a little bit more underneath that says, this was our last trip. We did some nature journaling, a water study, and even saw some baby garter snakes. So you'll see the journaling in the close-up. See, there we go. And so this will be one of my layouts, even though I'm not on it, but I thought it would be fun to document. So if you are new here, I would really love it if you subscribe, like, and comment. That's always great. Make sure you go check out Scrap Fabulous. I will again have her linked below. There's a couple of things you might want to watch here. And thank you so much for being here today. Have yourself a wonderful day.